So now we're back live for the Simraceway Sunday race-off. We've got the 4 red lights.
Green flag.
And it's a painfully slow start for the pole sitter. He's down to P3. And King Dio may just get the better of him now as Evo's piled down towards the first corner. Watch out for any incidents. Titan Nitro down to P4. It's been a horrific start by our pole sitter. Not what he needed at all. And look at that, the cone's being knocked over already through the chicane. Luckily, no one clipping the tyre barriers. Nice start there by everyone so far. As they make their way around the first sector. Still Lolin Fox is leading. Bastion second. Third place is King Dio. And poor old Titan Ishall, who's done so well in qualifying, could not quite make the race start. We wondered why people were practicing their starts in the qualifying session. That would be why, to prevent that kind of incident. But right now, Lolin Fox has just about got this tied up, I think. If you look at the drivers behind as well, there you can see them all making their way through. Still, as we say, no real overtaking manoeuvres. This is one of the unfortunate indices of this circuit, I suppose. The drivers struggle to get themselves alongside. We start the second lap with Lolin Fox leading from Bastian Graber by all not that much at all though. And keep an eye though, an overtaking manoeuvre could result in a crash. B1386 try with Bill, who goes a bit deep, somehow holds on though. And the rest of the field having a bit of an error there. I think that was NASCAR 24 fan who unfortunately had a bit of errors there as Fourbanger tries to pull alongside him. After being new to the old circuit, it's going to be interesting to see how he adapts to the new car, new track here today. But so far he's not been too much of a hassle to other drivers. He's got himself in a fairly accurate position. Bandito now also under pressure against Fourbanger, and again unfortunately he can't quite make this one stick. He's doing everything he can. Michel right at the back of the field as well. It's a stop and go provisionally there for Bandito as the drivers come towards the end of lap number 2. And look at Bastion trying to attack Lolin Fox up the inside of turn 1. Oh, he may have done it. King Dio's there as well for a rebound. Unfortunately, King Dio was unable to get the move going, but Lolin Fox loses the lead then. And off into the sunset sails Bastian Graber, but for how long? Lolin Fox is still trying to pressure him there at the moment. We've got a yellow flag out. Who's been the driver involved? It's Titan Ishall again. Our pole sitter again. Now, I'm not sure if this is just a case of first race nerves in a Sunday race-off, or if his racecraft is not as good as his one-lap pace. So we've seen this many times before. One lap pace is brilliant, but you need to be able to do it lap after lap after lap. If you can't, you're going to struggle here in a Sunday race-off where it demands consistency. And now he's all the way 13 seconds off the leader, the lead which he started on a few laps ago. King Dio now side by side with Ragster into turn 1. Someone seeming like the most opportune place at the moment to overtake a driver. Though I don't know, Ragster's still barely holding on. He's not looking too aggressive it seems. King Dio's easily been able to take that one from him. Lolin Fox up in front in P2, touching the grass a bit though. He's got to be careful he doesn't do that too often, otherwise that could end in a little bit of trouble for him. The field are really separating out now. We've got a big pack of cars right at the back. We've got BGG 286, Michel, Titan Ishall and B13. All those guys have been involved in incidents at some point along the line. Michel looking towards the inside of BGG, and he'll be on the outside line for the next corner. He has to duck back in very sensibly there. And Dio must have had a bit of impact there with the leaders because he's apologised in the chat publicly. Ragster and Bill still side by side as they go through the final kink. Bill this time will be on the inside as they begin. Lap number 5. Dio trying to pull alongside as well. He pulls back in, realising that move was never going to work. And already Bill 79 come under a bit of pressure. The leader's pulled away a massive gap there. Bastian's been able to eke out 2.2 seconds. And all the while, the rest of the drivers struggling to find pace right now. Bill 79 has almost got the Bill Brigade caught up behind him. There's nothing these drivers can do. Lolin Fox is out of the race, but as I said before, this circuit has such limited overtaking opportunities. It almost makes it impossible for these drivers to overtake. It's been great to watch as Bill has a nice little bundle of cars behind the Bill Brigade, but Bastian Graber, as we said before in qualifying, if you can get out front, it's going to be an amazing race for you. And now just look at them snaking through. I think the Bill Brigade is also going to be joined by the Forbranger Brigade, because that is getting also quite up close and personal back there. And Titan show up the inside of Mishu. Late manoeuvre there. Mishu goes wide up pole sitter. Trying to get a race to recovery going at some stage, but he's struggling to do so at the moment. Bastian, Bill, rags to P3, King Dio, whoa! I thought King Dio went off then, he's gone for a drive-through penalty. And, wow, that scared me. I thought he just completely lost control of the car, but thank God it was only a drive-through penalty and that was the pit lane. And you can see already the distances now between the drivers now. We've just had confirmation there that Lolin Fox has been put out of the race by King Dio, so that was why King Dio apologised. But already Forbranger coming under a lot of pressure there from Mishu up the inside. Oh, and he was off the circuit there, and that was always going to happen. And he pulls off the circuit. He's trying to get himself back going again. You can see the little shed on the right there. And yeah, that was going to be a definite penalty. That was an unnecessary manoeuvre to go for. The driver's just over halfway through this stage now. Rags, so a quick run through the order then. Bastian still leads, Bill second, Rags is still third. We've got Luke Sky, NASCAR fan, King Dio, Forbranger, Titanishul, B13, ORC has just picked up a penalty, BGG 286, Bandito, and Lolin Fox, who's out of the race. But surprisingly, it's all big moment there for the man I was just going to come to, Titanishul. Who's, you know, he's done well to get himself back up to where he is. He's had a very troublesome race so far, and he just had another big moment there coming towards the end of that lap. Unfortunately for him, I just thought his race was going back underway again, and it seems to have taken another turn for the worse. He's stuck behind Forbranger, but that's not the issue. The issue here is that he's getting impatient, and that is something this track loves to do. It really does sit like the devil on your shoulder. It wants you to get impatient, it wants you to be aggressive, it wants you to make those big moves which won't pay off and end your race, and that is what Titanishul is getting closer and closer to do. He needs to be careful right now, and again he's trying everything he knows, and he's had to zoom to the outside. Almost got a back wheel on the grass there. Trying to cut back underneath. Oh, and it's close. However, Forbang is able to shut the door before they go through the final kink. And Titanishu again, he really is like synchronised here, but he's just going way too deep into the corners, and Fourbanger is able to get the power down much quicker upon exit. And just trying to keep an eye on what he's doing right now. He's sat behind the Evo fairly... I was going to say conservatively then I realised that would be the complete wrong word. And he's trying to come through, he's doing everything he can, but the circuit has such limited track space. And just notice there in the chat, Kasako said, race admin, to finish first you have to finish. Titanishu really isn't taking that to the extreme right now. I think he wants to finish first you have to overtake every single car in front of you in the most aggressive way possible. And that is seemingly what Titanishu is trying to do. But I think at this stage though, Titanishu must be trying to suss it out. There's Misha, who's going to be a lap down now. They've got to be careful. That's a very unfortunate place to encounter traffic actually through that chicane. And Titanishu again barely able to get himself through. Cheeky little nudge there. Let's check back with our leaders then actually. We haven't spoke to them, well, about them in a while. So still Bastian leads, only this time Bill has closed right up on him. 2 tenths away now as they come around the final corner to start lap 11. Bill at the inside. Bastian's going to come right back and have the inside line for turn number 1. They'll go through the kink and Bill needs to try and cut back underneath now. Doesn't want to be run out of road. Indeed he isn't. 4 laps to go and already Bill 79 needs to try and get himself through right now. He's worked very hard to get there and almost a bit of a spin for Bastian, and Bill's through. Bastian trying to come back, they'll be on the outside line. Bill may just have this. And Bill coming back up again through Bastian through the inside, relentless in fighting. Bastian doing as many crossovers as he can. He's got more crossovers than a pair of shoelaces on a pair of Converse, but unfortunately it's not gone to the plan, and Bill 79 has escaped with the lead. Done very well so far, it's got to be said. Let's see what Bastian can do then. Is he going to be able to come back from this or no? One way to find out really. And look at that already. Bastian will not leave him alone, not at this stage. He's read so many of these plays almost. He's read so many times of how to overtake people. He's been here before. He's led the entire race up until recently. And now Bill 79 may snatch it from him. He's had a much better second sector than him indeed. As they go through, starting lap number 12, 3 laps to go. But this track layout really is bringing a lot of exciting racing to say the least. We've still got a nice train there. Titanishu is still trying to attack B1386, and I can't see him making that work as well. I can't see that move coming off because Titan's been trying all afternoon to get past Fourbanger. He's now lost another position. He's just being too aggressive, I think. Drivers all just using as much of this test track as they can, using as much of its limited track space right in the middle. And they're all darting around, and you can see there's just no way to overtake. They're going to battle for the lead again, then they start the penultimate lap through the kink. Bill provisionally taking control of it at the moment. Bastian will be on the inside for the first corner. Now this is where he wants to be. Bill cuts across, slams that door shut with some authority as well. And now Bill with a cheeky nudge as Bastian's back into the lead. This is what it all comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers have to be feeling the tension right now. Bastian needs a lap of his lifetime. The pressure can either turn you into a hero or can turn you into a villain. It can either make your career legendary or it can make it simply trample into dust. And right now, both of these drivers need to realise that. They need to get their game on. Bastian's got himself a second back to Bill right now. And as they start the final lap in just a moment's time, Bill needs to get closer. He needs to get closer. And I don't think he's going to have enough time to do it. As they go through the kink, he needs a mistake from Bastian, and I don't really think that Bastian's going to make it.
This is the final lap. Keep it going.
You can see one lap to go then. Rags is still a solid P3 there. Luke Sky P4. He's going to be doing a great job there if he can bring that home. NASCAR fan also. King Dyer P5. 7th there for B13A6. Ball banger in 8th. And Titan Ishall again in an incident there. He's lost the rear wing of the car. And his race has gone from an amazing prospect to a sad failure, unfortunately, for him. But all action must be kept on these 2 leaders. Bill has closed right back up then. The final lap of the race. This is where Bill needs to come into his own. Everything he's worked for comes down to this. And he's going to be so close right now to winning and coming second. He's got the slipstream, just a few more corners to go. He needs to get closer. Bastian's gone sideways. And Bill's going to surely go on the inside. He's trying everything. He's been a bit of a nudge. He's gone for it. He's on the inside. This is so close. Right side, no. Not across the start-finish line, surely. Bill 79 is just may steal Bastian Graber. Who's it going to be? It's Bill. I think Bill got it. 0.04 of a second. And Bill 79, I think, has barely snatched this from Bastian. Rag still will take P3. Luke Sky 4th. 5th place for NASCAR fan 6th. The King Dyer 7th will be B13. 8th for Banger. 9th Titan Ishall. Hugo spinning off again. 10th for Bandito. And 11th for BGG286. 12th for Mishu. And 13th and out of the race for Lolin Fox.
Keep it going.
What an amazing climax to that race. I believe there was a little bit of a nudge going into the final corner, but it may not have been able to have been avoided. When you're in the heat of the moment, you've got all those thoughts rushing through your head. You've got the car in front of you going sideways into the corner. It was a good move to do, in my opinion. But that brings us to the end of race number 4 from 6 here at Auto Club Speedway. We'll be back very shortly with the final 2. We'll see you then.